Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today is the start of a new build. We are at Starlight Drive-In. Now, this is probably looking a little bit different to what you have. I have wiped the slate clean, deleted most of the stuff, and added some extra stuff. Now in this video, I'm going to go through some of the processes to build the final product. I don't actually know what that looks like, you probably see my thumbnail. But if you're only here for the juicy bits, the tour, that'll be at the end of the video. I'll have a timestamp come up on the screen now, so you can go straight there and check out the final tour. But if you are interested in finding out some more details on how I actually built this, then stick around. I'll go through some of the processes. So first off, let's start here. How did I get to this point? Well, I have a mod called Clean and Smooth Settlements. It just sort of evens out the ground and deletes some of the stuff that you might not need. And as you can see, we have got the pond in the middle deleted and nicely smoothed out, and it's been moved over here, so we have a nice spot here to sort of place our water stuff. And I have added this road over here that just links that side to the other side, and the whole idea with this build is it's going to be a trading post. And I had this idea of, what if we have like a McDonald's drive-in? So you would come up from this side, drive this way, maybe have some big trade building that we can, or I guess it's like a warehouse type thing. You drive into it, drop your goods off, and then drive out, and then it sort of links up to this road over here. So this is our drive-in here, and then on this side I wanted to have some kind of truck stop or road station, maybe even have a red rocket, like a mini one or something, who knows. And this little part over here is where foot traffic would actually enter the main settlement, you know, where the houses are and shops and I don't know, whatever else you might need in the settlement. We have our sort of clean slate. We need to sort of enclose it because whenever there's a lot of trade going on, you know, there's going to be a lot of money or caps, and we need to protect those assets. So the first thing on the agenda will be to enclose this whole, I guess, build area with some kind of fence. So let's do that now. Now, first things first, if you want to know how I put this road down, I downloaded the mod Static Objects and Buildings. This is a freaking awesome mod, and if you go to the Landscape tab, you'll find a whole bunch of roads. There's different types of roads, dirt roads and these kind of roads, and I was able to place them down for that. And the reason why I chose this particular spot is because I might even bring up a map. Starlight Drive-In is kind of in the middle of the northern settlements. You know, we've got farms and things, so I just sort of had this idea, and it is relatively safe here. I just had this idea of, you know, having this as the main northern trade post, and it'll be kind of a rich town. So in order for us to protect our rich town, we need to fortify this area, and for that I'm going to jump into the Homemaker mod, another great mod. If you jump into structures and fences, we have the junk fences here. Now I'm just going to quickly show you what I'm thinking. I'm going to add more variety. I'm just going to use these quickly. So I will enclose the whole sort of green build area, and I'm even going to enclose this road. So the actual main residential settlement is going to be protected as well. There's only going to be one way in, which is going to be this road bit here, and it's going to be also have some barriers to sort of fortify it, so you can't actually drive a big truck or tank or APC into there. And that's only open to sort of small vehicles and foot traffic. And this main road is going to be just where, you know, the recovered trucks, actually it's probably going to be like this, the trucks that have been, you know, restored to a working, some kind of working order, they'll be able to drive through here. So as you can see here, we're going to fortify the road so you can only drive down this part, and then somewhere along this road there'll be a building you could drive in, drop off your goods, drive out, and then continue on your way out this way onto this road. And of course we'll add some kind of stop here, maybe a red rocket to fill up your coolant or whatever, and, you know, somewhere to sort of park up and have something to eat or whatnot. And maybe we'll put another entrance over there for foot traffic into the settlement. So that's basically what I'm thinking. I won't show the full process of putting the fences up because it's basically just running through these and just choosing different ones and placing them where I want them to be. And maybe I'll add a gate or something, but who knows. Anyway, I will be with you in a minute. And after some time, I have completed it. Now, you can see I've tried to rotate through the different fences on offer in the Homemaker mod, but you do get some kind of repetition. Hopefully when all the buildings are in here, it won't look too bad. But you can see what I was talking about before is what I've come up with. And I've used the Kuro tab mod to sort of come up with these gates. I think I'll put some lighting and signs and things on there. And we also have upscaled barn doors. So if we want, we can close it off to all traffic, foot traffic and vehicle traffic. And these doors can close up. And there's our entrance to the main settlement there. As I said before, I'll put some barriers up so you can't actually drive a truck or something in there. Now, I have filled in this area, but of course we are going to delete some parts so we can actually drive our trucks through our trade building. But then this is the other end here. Again, another sort of barn door setup. And I've cleared a space for our truck stop area. And we have our foot traffic entranceway there as well. Okay, I guess the next step is to figure out where we're going to put our trade building. So that'll be the next part. Don't know how that's going to look, but I'll let you know. With the magic of television, we have this. So I have used the barn. I think this is a barn. Is it a barn? Let me see. No, I'm sorry, people. It is the warehouse assets. And these doors, rolling warehouse doors, I think they're available via DLC, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's a mod. I think it's DLC. But anyway, we have our entrance and our exit, because of course this is one way. So you come in here with your truck. And we have some bollards so you can't just smash your way through. You'd drop off your goods here, we'd have forklifts or something, and then drive right out like that. Perfect. We also have an overhead crane for those heavy pieces that the forklifts can't manage. We have sort of like a gantry thing. I have some switches set up so that we can, open and close these doors. So one's for this side and the other one's for this side. And the idea with these doors is they would represent a different theme of goods. So one could be medical goods, food, guns, and clothing or whatnot. And this door is kind of miscellaneous. I'm thinking I might put another big shed on the end here for other goods that might not fit in these kind of categories. So what I'm thinking is I will put another smaller shed about the height of the top of our door. A shed for each door, and that'll be kind of like a storage area for that said item. Or items, I should say. And then off those sheds will be dedicated shops for that sort of theme of good. And next to that will be kind of like a main kind of walkway, boulevard, high street, I guess, that, everyone can sort of move between that side of the settlement to over here. And on this side will be houses and things and other kind of buildings that aren't necessarily shops. So the shops will be on this side and normal sort of stuff on this side. And of course we'll put some kind of water station or something there because it's kind of a big settlement, I guess. Now, this is Starlight Drive-In, and Starlight Drive-In obviously has a theme. It's a drive-in cinema theater. So having this kind of very nicely constructed building probably doesn't make the most sense. Of course you could probably recycle these assets from the Commonwealth and bring them here, but I'm thinking I might have to make this thing look more janky and cobbled together. This kind of looks like it's pre-war and it just survived the bombs, so it was always here, but of course that doesn't make sense because Starlight Drive-In was here and not this. So I'm going to try and make it look like they have recycled the warehouse parts and then just added other parts to sort of finish off the building, because I think this looks a little bit too clean for how you know, janky it already looks. But then just to sort of add some variety, I think I'm going to tackle this area next. Because this is a larger settlement and this is just basically a little water hole, I might actually extend it and make it look a little bit more substantial. So I got to do some finagling. I'll do that off screen and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, and this is our water setup. It's fairly serious, I think. So let's start off with our retaining wall here. Now, I'm already in the mod I've used here, Snappy Builds. Now, on Nexus, it's actually called Snappy House Kit, I believe. It just appears as Snappy Builds in my menu here. So Snappy House Kit, look for that one. And if you go over to the end of the menu here, you'll find landscaping, and they have a bunch of retaining walls. So I've just sort of put in some retaining walls and then just added some bushes just to sort of get rid of the plain dirt look. You can see that's kind of how it looks like that. So I've just added some various parts to sort of liven it up a little bit. And then where do we start? I've put in some settlement object expanded water. So we have, if you go to the structures pool tab, you'll find just the water planes here. So you can put that in and make your own pools basically. And I also used the waterfall from that to make our kind of water source thing. And that pipe is from the Kuro tab mod. Same with these machines. You can see we've got sort of our water extractor that goes into some kind of boiler, filter, pump thing. And the controls are over here underneath that sort of enclosure there. And I've got it sort of fenced up as well. And that runs through a pipe into our storage tanks. Now these tanks are from the Woody's Wasteland mod. And that also gives you these pipes and taps and things. So these feed our bathtubs. The idea is you'd sort of walk over to this area, go through the fence here. There'll be a guard or something just to make sure you're not poisoning the water hole, as Woody would say. And you get your bucket, you'd sort of dip the bucket in and take it back home. And if you had something specific to fill, you could just fill it with that. Or I guess you could fill your own bucket with that tap as well. So that is our setup, and we got some fancy, if I just move that out of the way, some fancy controls there with sort of pressures and things as well. Oh, come on, go back home. Excellent. Now I'm probably going to tackle the rest of our trade building. I'm going to add the shops and stuff to that as well. So that'll be the next step. So we'll see you soon. Me again. I am starting out here with the trade building, our warehouse. You can see I've added a whole bunch of sort of patches and things just to try and make it look a little bit more sort of haphazardly put together like we discussed earlier. And I did actually put in this truck because I just wanted to visualize how it might look. And once I put it in here, I kind of realized that our doors are probably a little bit too low. So I might need to upscale those and try and figure out how a truck might actually get out. But yes, this is what we have. We've got some items being unloaded. I'll probably put some NPCs or something on there to make it a little bit more realistic looking. Now, if you're wondering about the truck, I use this mod here, Hodgepodge, MDE Hodgepodge. Don't know if that's the full mod name. The patches on the building are using the Kuro tab, and I've used the Kuro tab for other bits as well. And if you're wondering about these items here, these nicely placed items, if I go to my, is it furniture mod? Furniture tab, I should say. This one. It's warehouse bits. Don't know what the mod is called. I'll try and find it for you. But it's got a whole bunch of these sort of things on pallets and just makes it look legit. Okay, let's go check out our shops that we've been working on. Oh, I did add this extension, as I mentioned before. I was going to do that. And you can see our buildings are looking a lot more patchy, a lot more random. Very good. Okay, we'll start here. This is the bar. So I'm using parts from, if I just jump into my menu again, thematic and practical. Just adding those two words together, thematical. So that's how you get all these sort of shop pieces and these bits here. And they do also add these very cool assignable kind of, I don't know, what do you call that, bench? countertop, whatever. And yeah, oh, sorry, I forgot to show you. This is our main street. So this patch here is where everyone will walk, and then we'll sort of have the buildings where the grass starts. So this is our bar. Kind of, I've done these bits here low so we can have like a, you know, one of those sort of standing tables, or have some stools and things there. So we've chosen our theme here. So we've got weapons on this end. So I might actually enclose the space just to make it a little bit more safer. And then we have a door accessing our little warehouse space, and then that's the door into our main warehouse. And then the next shop along is the clothing store, Daisy's Discounts. Very nice. The next one is going to be chems. Get all your chem needs here. And then finally the last one is just a general store to find general goods. Now I am going to add a food store, probably on this corner here, maybe in this area here. Kind of like what I did with the bar, but just on the opposite side here. And I have an idea of making it sort of like a cylindrical shape. That'd be interesting. But we have this thing over here. This is a giant kind of entryway gate, but it's also going to be our mayor's, oh, we're dropping frames like crazy, mayor's residence. So you can see that sort of hole in the top is going to be where the mayor stays. So it'll be administration, and then at the very top floor it'll be you know, the main mayoral house. And if you're wondering about these footings, these pieces are actually just the standard shack walls. I do have a texture pack kind of thing. That's why they look a little bit different, because I got bored of this sort of standard wood look. You might have noticed on our fence as well. So it does cover, you know, all the wood pieces. And I've just used these kind of supports to sort of make it look a little bit more cabin-y. Now, I'm going to go for a distinct style. I don't know if it's distinct, but a different style of building the houses and things like that. And it's going to utilize a lot of wood. So I'm thinking I might actually have to have a lumber yard, and I might actually put that at the end there over there. So it's kind of processing all the lumber, storage of the lumber, whatever, to sort of make all this stuff. So the layout of this building is, we have kind of like, if you think of it like a capital I, so you have the bottom bit and then the central bit and then the top bit, and then we'll have the staircase running up through the middle, and we have a door here and a door here. It's all symmetrical, so you'd have a walkway or something going through the different levels, and then it would finally sort of reach the top here. And then we'll have a sort of a walkway that goes all the way around the building, so you can sort of get a nice 360-degree view, and that'll be repeated going up the building as well. So we should have, well, the mayor should have quite a good vantage point, and I think it's kind of a cool idea having sort of the foot traffic going underneath the building and then coming through here. Now that leads into this area here, which I'm thinking I'm going to turn into a square. So it'll be like a town square. So we'll have the houses around here, and then some tucked in the corner over here as well. And then of course that kind of runs down our main street there as well. So hopefully by the end of this part, it should look pretty fancy. But yeah, hopefully that sort of gives you an idea of how I put this thing together. And now I just have to finish it. I have now completed it. Well, mostly. I think there's still some things I want to do with it, and obviously there's no interior, I should say, or anything. But so far, I think, let me just turn off that auto exit. It is quite a commanding looking building, and very happy with how it turned out. Now, we are going to move on to, oh, I did do the square as well. I just put in this statue, and it should be lined up with that walkway, so looks pretty nice. Okay, so we need to start moving on to the other buildings in our settlement, and you can see here I've placed down these floor pieces to kind of show you where the buildings might go. And the house style I'm going to go for is something I was doing in another build. I haven't finished it yet, but I'll quickly run through what I'm thinking. So you can see there's no structure underneath, so there's no piles or sort of foundation, but that's okay because we are going to hide it. And the first thing we're going to do is just jump into the walls here and just choose maybe one of these half walls, and it's going to be kind of like skirting. So if I just turn off that, okay, I'm going to have to double it up here because we do have a half piece. So it just finishes off the building quite nicely, like that. I won't do the back because you can't see back there anyway. So it finishes off the building. You don't have to put in the foundations, because I think some of the foundations where you just have these kind of like piles things, it looks too vanilla to me, and I want to try something new. So this is why I've sort of gone with this. Now, as for the main building itself, I'm probably going to stay mostly in Woody's Wasteland stuff. I really like these assets. It has received some criticism because you can see there's lots of gaps between the pieces. I'm not so concerned about that because we are in a fairly fortified settlement. So I would assume that raiders would already have a pretty hard time getting in here. So I'm just going to run with it. And what I'm going to go for is kind of I'm thinking like a 19th century, maybe Western style shack, if that makes sense. So we'll chuck these pieces on fairly quickly. We'll put this main solid wall on the back because you don't need windows for that section, and maybe on this side too. This isn't final, I'm just sort of placing it just to show you what I'm thinking. Maybe we can put the windows in these corners as well, like this. Just rotate through some of these ones. Come on, get in your spot. Okay, perfect. So the idea is what I'm going to go for is having porches, having a lot of porches on things. So if we go to the roof tab here, let's just get a sort of generic roof going. I'm going to sort of fix this building afterwards, but let me just place these down. So we're going to do a gable roof. Come on, snap. Gable roof here, and then coming off that roof, we'll have something like this. And then if we stay in this mod, come over to, I think it's this tab here, chuck these guys in. We need a little room for our steps. Oh, doesn't want to be central. Can I move this over? I can, but it is doubled up, so I'll have to figure out something for that. Chuck our stairs in. Doesn't want to play ball, so we'll just move it manually. Okay. And finally, we'll just get our supports and just put them. I'll have to find a larger one because this one doesn't quite work. But this is just for showing you what I'm thinking. Something like that. So I think it looks a little bit more like a proper house compared to the typical vanilla-y shacks. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Because we are in kind of an established town, I want the houses to look a little bit more designed, if that makes sense. Yeah, a little bit more user-friendly maybe. And I'm not going to use just woodies. I'm going to use some of these pieces here as well, because we got windows in them as well. And these pieces are the... If you go download the SOE mod, Settlement Object Expanded, there is a USS Constitution, I think, section in the structures menu, and you can find these pieces in there. So it's going to be a mix of these pieces, the Woody's pieces, and maybe even the Whispers extra pieces. That's another mod. I know that I'm spitting out mods all over the place. So these houses will be sort of around our square, and then of course down our main street as well. Okay, enough talking, enough yapping. I need to make some buildings. Okay, I am super excited. I have done a lot of work off screen, just using the same technique that I just showed you. But as you can see, we have a lot of freaking buildings, and we got stuff going on over there as well. Okay, I'll run through some of the stuff soon, but I did want to show you out here. I have started work on our little rest stop area, and I have a very mini red rocket of my own. Look at this thing, it looks brilliant. Okay, let me just show you from the sky. So if you drive out of this section here, you can just do a U-turn and come in here, get your coolant, and either drive out here, or you can just park up over here with your truck, vehicle, car, whatever. And this isn't final, I've just sort of placed it down. I think I might add another window or something over there just to sort of give it some interest on this side. But yeah, very happy with how that turned out. If you want to build your own red rocket, if you get the Snappy House Kit mod, the one I showed you before, you will find a tab in the shell kit section, and it's all the red rocket pieces. So you can find all these pieces, and you can see, if I just show you the texture, you can see where the texture finishes. So these are all sort of modular. Just think of it like Lego. You can put this thing together the way that you want, and it's very cool. Anyway, let's have a quick look up here. You can see we've got a lot of stuff going on. This is a hotel. Using the same technique I used to build the mayor's residence over there, we even have a church. So this piece here is the Whispers extra pieces. You can see they also have windows as well. And then I just used the glass house pieces, and then the, what do they call these? It's like the ocean, the seaside shack things. But yes, we have a cool little church here. And I did add some random industrial pieces with smoke. So that's from the SOE mod, and our industrial pieces are from the Static Objects and Buildings mod, the same as our roads. So obviously that mod has a lot of stuff to use. And what else? Oh, we have our food shop. So that's going to be having lots of fruit and vegetables and stuff. And some more houses tucked away in there. Haven't done much on our shops as of yet. Obviously we need to fill in all the stuff. Now I've got a couple of these sort of guard stations, so the people that are on guard, they'll have like a bed of their own, so they can kind of alternate between the other guard or whatever. So that's what that is. And I did end up converting this area into a lumberyard type dealio. You can see I decimated our old shack and put in some heavy equipment. We have our truck bed with logs and things, and we have another crane set up. And of course we have our own crane over here, which I have custom made using that Hot Potch mod. So that is very cool. So we have the bones to our settlement. We need to add some life. We need to add some interiors, which is not my favorite part, I must admit. But it is really coming together, I must say, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks thus far. The next step is going to be interiors. You guys know how to do interiors. I'm not doing anything particularly fancy. I'm probably going to use mostly the CVC Dead Wastelands mod, because that just speeds up the process. It gives you a whole bunch of sort of pre-made set pieces. So check that one out if you like. But I think the next update will be the settlement finished, and we can go for a tour. Alrighty, I have finally finished the settlement, and I think it's time for a tour. Now, if you're curious about any of the mods I've used in this, please check out the rest of the video if you have not already. And if there's anything specific that you think I've missed out, then drop a comment below and I'll try and get to you. Alrighty, we're starting off with the gate here. Traders welcome. You would come through here. As I said before, we are approaching this like a drive-through at McDonald's. So you'd come through here and then drive your truck into the main trade building over there, drop off your goods, drive out that door, and then continue on your way outside of the settlement. And then this is the proper entrance into the settlement. This is just mainly for small vehicles or foot traffic. But let's just check out this little lane first. Let's start with this one. This guy is just transporting some dangerous goods, it looks like. And these folks look like they are from Diamond City, guarding their goods. And they're currently waiting at the red light. So you got to stop, wait for your turn, wait for it to turn green, and then you can enter this way. You can see also there's a red light there. so you can't enter as of yet. You drive your truck in here, and as you can see, people are offloading their goods now, but unfortunately this guy's having some trouble. And he would sort of, with the forklift, deliver the goods into the respective bays. So one would be general goods, medical, clothing, and guns, and ammo, and armor, and everything like that. And we have a general area as well. And we have our catwalk up there with our switches and overhead crane. We've got some more vehicles here, Brahmin, milk. And we also have our wood delivery area. We'll show you that in a minute. And this is the exit. You can see green light to leave, yielding to traffic, obviously. And obviously this person is in a bit of trouble. They look a little bit woozy. Maybe a DUI, who knows. Anyway, you drive back up through here and exit out the settlement this way. Now you can go back that way, or you could do a U-turn and enter our Red Rocket coolant station, as this bus is doing right now. And they're waiting for their coolant to fill up. And then you could also park up and just have something to eat, sleep, do whatever over here. But inside our Red Rocket, you can see we do have an interior, and you can just hang out and have some coffee or do whatever. We also have an entranceway over here for foot traffic only, but I think we will enter the settlement on the other side, so let's do that now. Okay, as mentioned before, this is the main entrance with barriers so that the larger vehicles can't get through, and above it is our magnificent mural building. We'll go have a look at that first, I reckon. So come through here, we got our square, but before we go through there, let's check out our mayor's office. So just a little waiting area down here, and then you'd come up these stairs, come up here, and this is the main administration area. So we got places to sort of manage the settlement at large, and some meeting tables and things. That's down to the other side, and then the main mayor's residence is up here. Quite nice digs, I must say. Now the toilet was a little bit of an afterthought. I sort of completed this place and then I realized that there was no toilet in here, so it is a bit of an afterthought unfortunately, but it's all good. And then out here we have our mayor checking out the place, making sure everyone's behaving. And this is another outdoor area here, and we got the same thing over here, just places to hang out. Alrighty, let's go downstairs. Okay, popping out on the other side, and then into our main square here. And we have a taxi over here to sort of run around the settlement itself, and then this is our sort of typical house setup. So most of them have kind of porches and things. And I would say that the interior here is fairly typical. Just using a lot of the CVC assets, but nicely appointed. Back here is just a sort of warehouse for general goods, and some more storage and water tanks over here. Very good, very good. Okay, coming around the corner here we have our water. So we have this guy on guard, making sure nobody's playing with our filter and our, what do you call it, boiler. So we have the controls over this way. Close that one up. Come around here. So the idea is that people, if you want fresh water, you just come over here with the bucket, grab one of these buckets, and just dip it into the water there. That's getting fed by these storage tanks. Or you could just fill your own bucket using this tap here, and that's getting filtered and sort of boiled using that machine there from our pool over there. Very good. Coming out here, we've got, oh, excuse me, sir. We have our food shop. Very nice. Some more houses there, sort of tucked in on the side. They're all nicely appointed, I would say, for the Commonwealth, for the, post-apocalyptic world. And yes, that is a concrete floor, so you don't burn the floor. Come around here, another house. I'm not sure I'll go through every single house, but we'll just check out some of these. I don't know if I could get past her. This is our power station, so I'm using this kind of radio tower as kind of the main conduit, so we can send the power off around the settlement. And it also houses our workbench over here. So I just tucked it in there and It's kind of like a double use dealio. More houses. Now some of the houses do have toilets. You see this one here and here have toilets, but yeah, not all of them do. So this is our main street. So we have a line of shops and then other buildings over here. So we have a general trader, and I'll just show you. You can come through here, and behind the shop, oh, everyone's having a meeting. So that each shop has like a storage room that's connected to our sort of trade depot, so we can kind of move goods in between. And we've got our chems here. Gosh, all the settlers are going through all the doors, so everything's open. We've got our clothing store over here. And this kind of a little bit more secure building is the guns and armor shop. And you can see you can access it through there as well. Perfect. Oh, and finally we have our bar and cafe. Very nicely appointed. Very welcoming, I must say. Alrighty, let's check out the buildings on this side. So we have a church here, and pastor's giving a sermon, I would assume. And the next building is our, I guess it's a hotel slash rented apartments. Come in here. Person's on the desk. Grab your key. So a little eating area, bar thing, and then we have toilets and showers. A little bit hard to see with the curtains, but there is a shower in there. Okay, going upstairs. So I'm not sure I'll show every single one of them, but they are fairly typical. Just a very simple room with some storage. Let's go to the top story. Same kind of layout. They all have pretty much the same thing because we want to treat the guests the same. There's no sort of like penthouse, unfortunately. Okay, what's next? Some more houses. More of them tucked in behind. Oh, I didn't put a door on this. My bad. An outhouse. Now, there's a couple of these sort of guard stations where they do have their own kind of like simple setup. So I put them around sort of places that I wanted to guard. Like this rear entrance. Very nice. And if we continue on through here, this is our lumberyard. So I tried to put in an actual kind of, machine to cut the lumber, but I just ran out of room, so I decided to just keep it as storage. So we have our custom crane. Very nice. Our truck bed with the, I guess they are unprocessed, with a overhead crane, and then just storage of our wood and some loaders and things. All very nice. Alrighty, let's jump into the sky and just see how it looks from the air. Okay, and here we are. So we've got the guards on the rear entrance here. We've got our truck stop. Red Rocket. Lumberyard. Main Street. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is our special mayor's balcony with the lectern and the speakers, so he can do his speeches to the peasants below in the square. And the water situation. Well, if you enjoyed that one, please drop us a like and a subscription if you're feeling extra generous. I also have a Discord. You can find a link on their main channel page. Over there you can post your own Fallout 4 builds and just get involved with the community. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you on the next video, and have an awesome day.